welcome to another episode of Voice of a Niner Faithful. I'm your host, Jason. I'm here to dissect the highs, the lows, the unforgettable moments, some of the forgettable moments of our beloved red and gold. Whether you're a bleed scarlet and gold or just love the NFL, this is your home for all things 49er. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you're tuning in. So, little teaser, what are you expecting today? We're going to give a semi-detailed breakdown of the two games I haven't talked about yet here, at least on the YouTube part of my show. I talked about the Rams on TikTok, but not here. So I'm going to talk the Rams game, and I'm going to talk the Dolphins game, and we'll go into some of the stuff for the Lions game, mainly like the injury report and such. We're also going to talk about a little bit about the implications of missing the playoffs and the path going forward, and the offseason insights and reasons to remain hopeful. Well, we're always hopeful. We're Niner faithful. So let's get into it. So, tale of two games. That's pretty much what those two games, the Rams game and the Dolphins game. Yeah, we lost both of them, but there were definitely reasons we lost both of them, and they were different. The Rams game, the Rams kicker Carty, 4 field goals. Our kicker 2 field goals. Moody, some of a touchy subject with most 49er fans. So I'll just give a quick take on Moody myself. I thought he did okay his rookie year, but unfortunately he regressed now in his second year. And I hate to say it, he's probably a really nice guy all in all, but I think we need to find a new kicker. That's just my personal opinion. Remember, I'm just a fan, just like the rest of you. So that's that. But their kicker, I guess he's been having some issues, the Rams kicker, and he redeemed himself pretty good with 4 field goals during that game. Stafford's precision under pressure, highlighted by his connection with Nakua. They got a really good chemistry going down. Nakua, hard not to say how good he is. Yeah, he's not on our team, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Puka Nakua is, at the moment, the real deal. And of course, Brock Purdy's costly red zone interception, and it kind of rippled out from there. And yeah, that was not a major highlight of his, that's for sure. The weather definitely took its toll during that game. I know Brock Purdy has his issues during some weather, but just like the Bills game, this wasn't snow, but this was pretty torrential rain, shaping the first half strategies and how it pretty much it hurt both teams. That's why the score was only 6-3, or I'm sorry, 12-6. I don't know why I got 6-3 or 6 that other low scoring game recently, not by us, but another team that was really weird score. That was that Bears game. So yeah, my wife's a Bears fan, so I have that on my mind. Anyway, we all know Purdy isn't the greatest in bad weather, and the Bills game was horrible just because of the snow. That's not a normal game. Yeah, quarterbacks should be able to play in any weather, but have you personally ever tried to throw a ball in the snow and now in the rain for this game, for the Rams game? It hurt both sides. Combined 9 first downs and 11 punts in the game. Ridiculous. It kind of pretty much neutralized any run game, and it definitely exposed more weaknesses in our offensive line play. A little bit of historical context. That was the 4th divisional loss this season, despite leading in the 4th quarter. How does this compare to past 49er seasons? Similar. There's a few similarities, but similarities to the 2000 Patriots struggles and how the team rebounded. Their team rebounded, so I think we have a chance to do the same. So I'm not worried about next season. I'm disappointed with this season, but that's for another episode. But that was the whole of the Rams game. It was the weather, the struggles because of running, because of the offensive line. It was just an all in all poor offensive game for both teams. Pretty decent defensively, considering the score. So let's leave it on a positive note. The defense of the Niners played decent on that game. Let's move over to the Dolphins game. Um, I'm not going to get his name right. Cater Cohos, Cohos, Kohou. His late game interception, which, by the way, I don't blame that interception on Purdy. He was hit while he was throwing it. Any quarterback, it would have happened the same way. And of course, Ockney's, I'm killing his name too. Devon Och, I, you know who I'm talking about. His 50-yard touchdown run. That was, you can't, again, you have to give credit where credit is due. So, uh, discipline, I think, killed us in that game. 11 penalties for 90 yards. It was just horrible. Basic. I mean, I think I saw that clip of darn, now I can't even think of his name. Our rookie wide receiver getting chewed out on the sidelines because of two of the same type of penalty. Yeah, he's got to work on that. He's a rookie. He'll get it down for next year. So yeah, it's the whole thing was just, it could have been better. Uh, Miami's playoff drive versus San Francisco early exit. Miami, I think, still has a slight chance, and obviously, we even at the beginning of the game, right even before the kickoff, I think I saw at the beginning of the game that it said that we were out because Washington had won. So, unfortunately, a year like our year after the last time we went to the Super Bowl, and the next year we didn't make the playoffs. Same thing this year. Last year we went to a Super Bowl. This year we're not getting to the playoffs. Um, I think we'll be fine for next year. I think we'll get things corrected. Coming up, I'll be talking about some stuff that John Lynch said about that very subject. Going into a little bit setup for the Lions game. Oh yes, I do have to talk about one other quick thing. The whole Devondre Campbell thing, is refusing to play. The whole and being suspended. He's suspended for the rest of the season, pretty much. That way, we don't have to pay him as much anyway. So yeah, that was horrible. That was dumb. Completely. I don't know. I don't think Devondre Campbell's going to play again in the NFL anyway. Maybe he'll get Canadian League or something, but who knows? I don't think he's going to play again. So now getting into the Lions game, the injury report for the Lions game, at least as of Saturday night, Beal's out, Greenlaw's out, Burford's out, Banks is out, McKivitz questionable. That's a lot of offensive line there. Ward and Brown are also questionable. Now, the rest of these names I'm going to read off, they're all questionable as well, but they all did participate fully in practice. Grendo, Juszczyk, Winters, Hufanga, Elliott, Bosa, and Floyd. They're all questionable, but they all were participating fully in practice. So I'm anticipating them all playing. And of course, you can't forget Fred Warner. He's still playing on that broken bone in his foot. That's nuts. I appreciate that he's playing, and you got to give the man credit. He is the captain of the defense. Period. And when he's out there, you know he's going to make plays. Hopefully, he doesn't. Excuse me. He doesn't do any more damage to his broken foot, and he'll be fine for next year. But got to give the guy credit. That's playing through something like that. Kudos to him. I think it's going to be an interesting game against the Lions. I think because our offensive line is so depleted, I think we're going to have like a third string or even fourth string quarterback, offensive line protecting our quarterback. It's not good. I think I'm going to see. We're all going to see Purdy running around a lot. But on the same thing, the defense of the Lions, they're really depleted. So maybe it'll even out and Purdy will be able to do something. Otherwise, my prediction, I would like to be positive and think it's going to be a close game and that we still have an opportunity to win. But to be realistic, even being a diehard fan, it's really hard. The Lions' offense has just been on fire. So unless we can actually get our defense to put some pressure on Jared Goff, we're going to be in trouble. But any given Sunday, so let's think positive, Niner faithful, and think that we can pull a close game out and put a little, we're going to play for pride and we're going to get them to maybe not make the first round bye in the playoffs. Maybe it'll make the Vikings do it. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I get to work during that game on Monday night, so I'll catch the first part and then I'll listen to the whole thing. And then I'll catch the last part on my last break at work. So hopefully it'll be an entertaining one, at least that I can peek at shots of it, but still listen to it at least. So the injuries this year, speaking of the offensive line injuries and all the other injuries, I mean, you're hearing a lot about, especially coming into this game against the Lions. The Lions have a lot of people on IR too. But the people that they have on IR aren't starters. They have some starters, don't get me wrong. They have a few starters on IR, but nowhere near as many as we have. Yes, they have people on IR, but they're not the big starters, except for a few, obviously. But injuries have killed us, and I think some undisciplined play has killed us. We need to get back to basics. We need to get back to being a disciplined team. Now, Coach Shanahan, one of his things that he said recently, quote, "We need to focus on execution and play the kind of football we know we're capable of. It's about setting the tone for next year and giving these guys something to build on." End quote. So he's acknowledging, yeah, it's frustrating and all that, but emphasizing resilience and growth, which is what the coach should do. And I'm sure John Lynch would say the same thing. And I would even say the same thing. I think the next two games, I don't want to see our starters sit just so we can get a better draft pick. I want them to go out there and play. That's what they get paid for. So if they're getting paid for it, let them do it. I would like to see the last two wins. I would love it. It would be awesome. The significance of facing the NFC leading Detroit in prime time. We need to show that resilience during that game. And that's why I think there still is a chance. I think we can pull it off. I got to be realistic and know that, it might not happen, but I think we can pull it off. We had a lot of things that happened during the season. The reflections on this whole season in general. A lot of missed opportunities. We led in a lot of games into the fourth quarter and blew those leads. Who's to say who's to blame? I see a lot of people blame Purdy, or people blame Shanahan, or people blame this, people blame that. It's a team sport. It's a team blame. Now, with that said, what kind of improvements can they do? As a fan, and I'm not an analyst, I'm just a fan. I think a lot of the things that they can do, one of the things that they definitely should do is get a new special teams coordinator. I can see them, I don't know, maybe possibly, if they could talk Saleh into coming back as defensive coordinator, I think that would happen, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think they're going to give our defensive coordinator another year to grow. So I don't see that changing. But either way, whoever's there, we have to get back to basics. We have to get more disciplined, have to cut the penalties down in half at least. And we got to hold on to our leads. We could be leading in a game, and all those games that we were leading, who was our quarterback? Brock Purdy. So it's more our defense, I think, in those games that lost those games, not Brock Purdy losing those games. So, yes, some improvements on defense, defensive coordinator, maybe. We'll see. But again, that's just a fan, myself, my ideas. What has been your biggest frustration for the season? If you want, you can share your thoughts. If you're going to share your thoughts on X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days, if I'm going to put this out there, or anywhere else, if they use the hashtags, use hashtag NinerFaithfulFrustrations and put that out there. I'll find them and see them and see where that goes and try to mention them my next episode. If you have any other questions that you'd like, you can also shoot me a line on wherever you're seeing this. Put a comment, ask me the questions, and I'll see what I can do to find the answers if I don't have them right away, and we'll go from there. Looking ahead, the offseason plans. John Lynch, he has a plan to address the penalties, injuries, and the depth. Some of the free agent targets and potential draft picks. I saw this on a website called Niner Noise, so I haven't gone and delved into these people yet myself, but this is what one of the websites has said. They think our first four picks in this order: Kenneth Grant, a defensive tackle from Michigan. Donovan Jackson from Ohio State, offensive tackle / interior offensive line. Cornerback Darian Porter from Iowa State. And edge Josiah, I'm probably killing his first name, but his last name is Stewart from Michigan. And then some free agents we could possibly bring back in. And I say bring back because the first person is Mike McGlinchey. He knows our system at least, and we could have that some veteran depth on the offensive line. He wasn't great, but he was good. He wasn't great, so I think it'd be okay to have him in there as a someone that comes in as a backup kind of thing. Um, and then maybe a defensive tackle, Dalvin Tomlinson, fortified defensive interior. Maybe we can pull that off. But again, I saw that on Niners Noise. If you want to go check that out. Our chances for a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, we got if we want to get our players, we got some older our players that are getting older. Nick Bosa's getting there. Yeah, he's still in his 20s, but he's still, for a defensive line edge rusher, that time goes quick. George Kittle's up there. Fred Warner's up there. We got some other players that are up there. Trent Williams. We gotta maximize the years of these guys. So pressure to win with Purdy's rookie contract is also closing. Obviously, he's going to get signed. As much as one of those things you hear out there, Purdy shouldn't get this amount, should get this amount, whatever. Try to get somebody else. It's not going to happen. We're going to sign Purdy. It's just that simple. I mean, yeah, it's fun to speculate, but in the end, we're signing Purdy. If it's going to be 50, 55, 60 million a year, it's going to be up there. And you can blame these prices. You can't blame these prices on Purdy. You can blame these prices on Dallas, and you can blame these prices on the Giants with Daniel Jones. So it's only right for Brock Purdy to want that amount of money. If you're going to pay Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott that kind of money, he's going to say, hey, look, those guys suck. Look where I've done. So, yeah, whether you agree with it or not, it's going to happen. So, something to deal with. We need to keep players like Debo and Dre Greenlaw. They're going to be healthy next year. I say Debo because he's been kind of sluggish this year. I'm hoping maybe there is some inner injury we haven't heard about. Wouldn't be the first time that we heard about an injury that someone's been playing through the whole year, but we don't hear about it until almost the beginning of the next year. So who knows what's up with Debo? Hopefully he is healthy and he'll come back next year better. I want to keep Dre Greenlaw. Him, and you saw what he did, and he was only in for a half a game. And when he was out there, our defense was 100% improved. So we need to keep Greenlaw. We need to bring up our young stars, bring up our young players, get the discipline in them so they stop making so many penalties, and we can come back stronger next year. And I think that will happen. So, 49ers season itself hasn't gone the way we all hoped. But there was always something to fight for. So let's finish this year strong and carry this momentum into the offseason. We can all stay proud and loud for our 49er team. Stay faithful. So, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, I have some people that actually watch the whole thing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is very helpful. Helps me keep going with this podcast. Let's connect on social media wherever you see this. I'm on. I'm obviously. I can't talk right now. Excuse me. I am on YouTube, TikTok, X, Instagram. I'm on Facebook too. Just look for my name, Jason Teal. I'm in a lot of 49er fan groups, so look for me there. And hopefully I'll get some comments and I can mention you in my next episode. So until then, you all have a great evening, great Happy New Year, and go Niners!